the strong smell of plastic just from these figures is pretty up there, so I might have to leave the windows open in the collection room for a few hours at least. Of the Fendal set, a set which was quite incredible when it first came out. I never thought for the life of me that we would get a set based on not only the image of Fendal, because it's quite a, I wouldn't say a weak story, but it's certainly a lesser known story, and it comes with the massive giant Fendaline. And when I say massive giant, it really is a massive giant, and you can just tell by the size of the box here just how big this set is. It also comes with another variation of Lila and some accessories too. So let's crack on and open this set and see what's inside. And just before we go any further with opening this one, it's just a shame really that you have to kind of ruin the backdrop that's included here. It's a lovely backdrop, but I say you have to ruin it because you have to kind of get the figures off, and then there's holes in the backdrop, and also if you can see the sheer size of it, it simply just doesn't fit on your shelf, and I'm not really that keen on using the backdrops because it just looks out of place where the majority of the sets didn't come with these backdrops. So having one of these every now and again in the collection just, in my eyes, looks a little bit odd. I mean, you could display this as it was, like this, and not open it and just have it perhaps in a glass cabinet. I guess that would look kind of cool, but I think today we'll just go ahead and open it and abolish the lovely backdrop, sadly, in this set. Okay, so I've actually succumbed to using a pair of nail scissors to cut the damn bits of string because my penknife just won't do it. Ah! Okay, so as you can see, I've actually done a pretty decent job of getting the figures out and not breaking the box, which I'm actually quite happy about. But you may have noticed I have actually left the accessories in here because I know from last time the only way to get them out is to rip this bit of plastic off, which then destroys the table. But luckily, when I sold my collection many years ago, I managed to keep the spare bits of this particular set, because I remembered if ever I recollect this set, which is what I'm doing now, then these will come in really handy for me not destroying this package. So something I did actually worked. I'm really happy about that, so I will keep this somewhere just so I can maybe display it. I need to decide what I'm going to do with it, but it does look pretty cool. Hopefully the camera shows you just how good it looks. Okay, so this is Lila, played by Louise Jameson. Now, this is actually the third different version of this particular figure. You can get Lila as a single release, and Lila also from the Lila in Store set, Sontaran. So it's nice to have variations of a figure such as a companion to display alongside the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker. It's a shame they didn't do the Time Lord that she left the show for. Can't remember his name. I want to say Maxwell, but that wasn't him, that was Colin Baker in another story, but I'm just, yeah, let's just get back to the video. Yeah, so this variation has Lila with her hair done up in a bun and a very short dress, which is, let's face it, something that she always wore. It does also come with an accessory. It comes with a knife, which fits quite nicely in her pouch, and no, she's not a kangaroo, and it also fits snugly in her hands if you chose to display it in her hands. One thing I will say that I've noticed about this particular figure, if you look at the back, I don't know how well it's going to pick it up, it looks like she has a hole in her back where the dress is kind of glued to her body, so I guess displaying it from that way won't be so good, but I guess I won't be doing that. I'll be displaying it facing outwards, if that makes any sense. So that is Lila, and like I say, really happy to have her in the collection. At the moment I still have to get one more Lila, and that's the Lila and Commander Store set. I do have it mint in its packaging up there somewhere, so I need to track one down so I can open it, and then I'll have all my Lilas complete because I have the single release version already opened on the shelf behind the camera. Then we have this giant, and I do mean giant sized Fendaline, and it really is one of the best kind of molds I've seen in something this big. It just looks, in fact the camera went a bit blurry then, it just looks so menacing. It does even have a bit of articulation, and that is in the tail. You can twist the tail around like that. I don't really know why you would do that, but yeah, it's there if you need it. So that's the Fendoline, and as mentioned before, it comes with a little baby Fendoline as well there. I mean, the size comparison is just absolutely monumental. When you display this next to a figure, you can see there, that's how, you know, that's the sort of size difference in comparison that we're looking at. It really is a massive beast. There's a hole here that you can put your finger in and get your finger stuck, and I don't know why you would do that. It's obviously where it was moulded and when it came off the machine. But just imagine having made this and taken it into your boss saying, you know, here's the prototype, what do you think? I mean, it's just fantastic. They really were on top of their game at this point. Damn shame they stopped doing what they were doing. And last but not least, it does come with this little skull accessory. Forgive me, I haven't seen the story for such a long time, but I believe this skull is kind of cursed thing, and it kind of brings the Fendoline, and it comes on a little plinth stand there as well. It's just a nice little kind of added extra that you can have on your shelf. So that is the image of the Fendal set. Okay, and finally we have the Claws of Axos set. This set I've left to the end simply because I'm really excited about having it opened. Now, I have this set mint in its packaging already, hence why I'm opening this particular set. This set isn't a great set if you want an army build, because you can't really army build this version of Joe or the Brigadier, and we do get variations of those two figures anyway in different sets, so that's kind of one of those things. The only thing I would say is you perhaps could take off the Brigadier's head maybe and have a unit soldier, you know, by putting a different head on him, but I'm not really into customizing figures because I'm not very good at it, so I won't be doing that. And a humanoid Axon, you could army build, but in all honesty, I think, like, in the story, if I remember rightly, there was a male and a female kind of Axon human, and then there was the actual Axon monster, which is something I will be army building. So I think I'm just happy to have one of these in the collection for now. Maybe I'll change my mind and have two of them perhaps, but for now I'm happy. So with that being said, let's crack on and open the last set of this video. And before we do, I've just noticed on the back here there is actually a male Axon, which we have, and two different female type Axons. So they could have brought them out, then we could have had a whole trio of Axon humanoids. That would have been so cool. And what's also good about the Claws of Axos set is it does also come with a backdrop, and the backdrop, as you can see, can be displayed really easily and doesn't get damaged. And the backdrop is of the Axon spaceship inside, and it also does have an Axon standing there. The only problem is, again, like I said, I just kind of feel like these backdrops look odd on the collection when there's only a few of them, and on the outside it is just plain cardboard. But let me know in the comments if any of you do display your backdrops, and maybe if you've got videos of it or pictures, send me a link. I'd like to see what the collection looks like with these backdrops in. That being said, let's crack on and open the rest of this set, because I'm really excited to get them open. And here we have the figures that have now been opened, and the first one I'll show you is the Brigadier. Now this is one of my favourite designs for the Brigadier. He looks so good. The likeness on his face there is just fantastic of Nicholas Courtney. Does also come with an accessory. It comes with a little pistol here. Unfortunately the pistol can't be put in his pouch, which is a shame. It would be kind of good, like Lila, if you could slide the gun in there. I do love the gloves that come with this figure as well. They just make the figure stand out in my opinion. One thing I've noticed, again, the backs of these figures aren't always great. There's a strip here where the jumper, or it looks like he's got a fleece on backwards, is glued together, but again, we're not too bothered about that. We look at the figure from the front really, so that's fine. I know I've not gone through articulation in any of these figures, and that's really not what these videos are about, so I am reviewing these sets to a point, but they don't need me to kind of tell you the articulation because it's the same on pretty much every figure apart from the obvious Fendolines and Sontaran spaceships and whatnot. So that is the Brigadier. We have many variations of the Brigadier. We've had a recent release in the 1970 set of the Brig. We've had this one from the Claws of Axos set, of course, and there are a few others dotted around in other collections which I will be adding to the collection. For now, this is the second Brigadier that I will have in the collection, and he will stand very proudly alongside his co-star Jean-Pertwee. So very happy to have the Brig in the collection. And then we have Katie Menon, played by Joe Grant, or Joe Grant played by Katie Menon. That would make more sense. And this is a really good likeness again. I always find with these figures that, like, basically the lady figures that have the high heels, they don't always stand up very well. They normally wobble and fall down, which is a bit of a shame, purely because they haven't got giant feet like men. But yeah, apart from that, it's a lovely, lovely figure. Really does capture the likeness there of Katie Menon, and it's nice just to have companions alongside the Doctor. It's such a shame that we only got, you know, a few companions. We've got Ace, we've got Lila, Perry and Joe. 4 companions. I mean, what is that all about? But it's just one of those things, I'm afraid. It's sad, it's a travesty, but what else can I do about it? And last, and well, I keep saying this, definitely not least, is the Axon Humanoid. There he is, absolutely fantastic. The detailing on him is absolutely, in my opinion, fantastic. You know, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you would know straight away that it's an Axon. I mean, it just does everything it says it does. I absolutely love it, and I'm really happy to have him in a collection. I'll have to think of a name for him, perhaps. I'll call him Boris the Axon or something, I don't know. So there we have the Axon Humanoid. Right then, so there we have it. Look at all these figures that we've unboxed and are going to add to the collection. It's just simply fantastic. Now, the strong smell of plastic just from these figures is pretty up there, so I might have to leave the windows open in the collection room for a few hours at least, just to vent some of the plastic smell away. But we've got some lovely, lovely figures here. If you've enjoyed watching this video, then please do check the playlist for this set of videos, because I am doing stuff like this all the time in this particular series. After all, it's me recollecting my classic Doctor Who figures, so it does what it says on the tin. I am doing just that. So I feel so privileged to have added all this to the collection in just a matter of, well, however long this video has taken me to record. So I'm really happy. I'm now going to spend some time editing this video, of course, to get it up as soon as I can for you guys. And also, I've got to find a place for all these. I am one of those collectors that has to have all their figures in numerical order, or, you know, in story order. So I'm going to have to be, you know, changing things around and squeezing the Dalek in there and popping a Fenderline in there and whatnot. So I enjoy it. It's kind of what I do. So I have a day off work. So hey, brilliant. That being said, happy Easter everybody. Hope you've had a really good weekend and eaten loads of chocolate, because that's always fun. So until then, take care of each other, and I will see you all again very soon in the next episode. Bye for now.